Hey guys, I'm going to go over the packet about this more practice with parallel lines and transversals. Again, I do want to advise you to pause the video at any point, try to do as much on your own and use the video. You can fast forward and rewind and check your answers, okay? So the directions here say that A is parallel to B. Remember, this symbol means parallel. So, yep, we have these two lines that are parallel, and P is a transversal. We're going to fill in the blanks describing the angle relationships with regard to angle 3. So angle 3 here, which angle will it make a linear pair with? Well, I would advise you guys to draw your boxes here to kind of show where each intersection is. And angle 3, whatever the linear pair is to angle 3, better stay in this box, okay? And it's going to be side by side. So for example, angle 3 and angle 4 are a linear pair, but so are angle 3 and angle 1. So these are both linear pairs. Now, angle 3 and angle 2 are vertical angles because they're across from each other in the same box. Angle 3 is corresponding with angle 7 because if you look at these boxes, if you were to take this box and slide it down, 3 would end up on 7. Okay, so these are in the same position, just in a different location. Angle 3 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. Consecutive means same side. So looking for same side interior, angle 3 is already interior. It better be if it's going to be if you're going to have an answer that's going to be similar to this. So angle 3 and angle 5 are consecutive or same side interior angles. Now for this next section, we're given parallel lines A and B again, cut by the transversal P, but now we're given that the measure of angle 1 is 140 degrees. So we're going to use that to find all the other angle measures. So for example, measure of angle 2, well, angle 2 and angle 1 happen to be a linear pair. If you want to draw the box, you can see that they're side by side. So, linear pairs, remember SSE, SSI, and LP, these all add up to be 180 or supplementary. So these are supplementary, which means you take 180 minus 40, that's going to, or 140, that's going to be 40 degrees. So this is 40 degrees. So the measure of angle 2 is 40 degrees, and we have to give one reason. Well, because angle 1 and angle 2 are a linear pair, which means they are supplementary. I'm having to write pretty small to fit it all in. Now, from here on, you're going to have a lot of different variations of answers. You might come up with a different answer, so I'm just going to give one example. Measure of angle 3, well, if you use it as being across from a measure of angle 2, you can say, well, vertical angles, okay, are equal, so we'll say angle 3 is also 40 degrees. Some of you might say, well, it's a linear pair with angle 1, so you subtract from 180, but it'll still be 40 degrees. So let's say I use the reasoning that they're vertical angles, so I'll say angle 3 and angle 2 are vertical angles, okay? So vertical angles, which makes them equal. Sorry about my handwriting. Okay, let's go to measure of angle 4. Now we have all these angles to use, so we'll say, all right, well, let's use measure of angle 4. You can say, hey, this is also 140 because it's vertical with angle 1, which makes them equal, or you can use the fact that they're linear pairs. There's a lot of options here, but I'm going to go with vertical angle again, so I'm going to say measure of angle 4 is 140 degrees because angle 1 and angle 4 are vertical angles. Okay? I'm going to shorten that for now. Measure of angle 5. Now we're jumping from one box to the next. So there's a lot of options here. You might say, okay, well, angle 5, I'm going to pause.
Ms. Carpio, please come to the front desk. Ms. Carpio, please come to the front desk. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to say that angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. So those are equal to each other. So this will have to be 140 degrees. Or you can say, hey, these angle 3 and angle 5 are same side interior. So then you take 180 minus 40, that will be 140 degrees. Or you can even say these are alternate interior, which makes them equal. So there's a lot of options you can give. Let's say I go with the corresponding angle. So angle 5 and angle 1 are corresponding angles, which makes them equal. Okay, so that's one way to give a reason. So I'm going to say a measure of angle 5 is 140 degrees. Now measure of angle 6, you can say is going to be 40 degrees for a lot of reasons, either corresponding or alternate interior. So let's say it's 40 degrees, and I'll use alternate interior angles. Angle 3 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles, which makes them equal. Okay, so I'm just going to shorten it to equal. Okay, these are all equal. Alright, now measure of angle 7, let's say we make that 40 degrees because it's vertical to 6, so angle 6 and angle 7 are vertical, which makes them equal. And then we got one more angle left. You can say corresponding or alternate exterior. Let's say we do that. Let's say it's 140 degrees. There's a lot of options, but I'm going to use the fact that it's alternate exterior with angle 1. So angle 1 and angle 8 are alternate exterior angles, which makes them equal. Alright, I went through that pretty fast, so feel free to go back and just pause and think through these if you need to. Let me pause.
Gladys Dutton, are you ready? We need you in the cafeteria. Gladys Dutton, we need you in the cafeteria.
I'll be right with you. Alright, no problem. And here we've got types of angles, so we have to identify the types of angles, and their relationship is, are they congruent or are they supplementary? And then we're going to write the equation used and solve for x. Okay, so there's a lot to do in one problem. Not too bad though. These angles here, if you guys can tell, they are in the same position but in a different location, so these are corresponding. Okay? And the relationship is that they're going to equal each other. They're congruent. Okay? So the equation is going to set, we're going to set them equal to each other. Now we're going to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides, or you can subtract 5x, but I like to get the boxes together. So you get 80 equals 5x minus 1x, which is 4x. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X is 20, and it says box around your answer, so I'll just put a box around my answer. And over here, these are both interior and opposite sides of the transversal, so this is alternate interior. Alternate interior angles are always congruent. That means we set them equal, so 65 minus x equals 2x minus 10. Draw, oops, this is a circle, box, box, circle. I'm going to do boxes before circles, so I will add x to both sides. These cancel. I have a 65 equals 3x minus 10. If I circle and box, I'm going to get this circle away, and then I'm left with 75 on the left side, 3x on the right. Divide, divide, so x equals 25. Alright, two more problems. Okay. And then over here, basically the same instructions. These are alternate exteriors. See, this is the interior. These are exterior angles on opposite sides of the transversal. So these are alternate exterior, and the relationship is that they're congruent to each other, which means we're going to set them equal. So 2x plus 10 equals 86 plus x. If you box and circle, then you get, I'm going to take care of boxes first. So 2x minus x is x, plus 10 equals 86. Subtract 10, subtract 10. X is equal to 76. And that should be a box, okay? And lastly, these two angles are in the interior on the same side of the transversal. So this is same side interior. Okay? And the relationship is that they're going to be supplementary. Okay, or add up to be 180. So we got to take one of them, 3x minus 10 for example, add it with 5x plus 30, and it should be equal to 180, because that's what supplementary means. So I'm going to go ahead and add like terms. These are going to be 8x, and then negative 10 plus 30, if you check on your calculator, is 20. Okay, I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides because they're both circles. I want to get it away from the box. And you get 160. Divide by 8, divide by 8, x is equal to 20. Good luck, guys, and anytime, I know I went through this kind of fast, but you can definitely come back and pause, and I would advise you try and doing the problems again on your own. Do not do numbers 5 and 6. I know some of the classes I told you to go up to 6, but these are kind of special cases, so don't do numbers 5 and 6. Good luck, guys.